Hello friends, as we discussed earlier, when you select in the device configuration, if you select setting group change option enabled, then all the setting group A, B, C, D has been enabled. Okay, if you keep it disabled, then you will see only one option. Okay, group settings, setting group. Okay, now next, after you set the device configuration, the second point is to provide the power system data for any relays. The relay will work on the voltage and current values. Okay, voltage input and current outputs, whatever the functions, it may be transformer differential, it may be generator protection, whatever the functions, the relay will operate only by the current and voltage. Okay, so let us go to the second option. It's called power system data 1. Here you will find the options. The power system data, it's 60 hertz or 50 hertz, what depends on the frequency you have to put. Saudi, it's 60 hertz. We put phase sequence L1, L2, L3. We have to put L1, L2, L3. Okay, that's fine. Second is temperature of measurement, degree Celsius, degree or Fahrenheit. Okay, whatever it is. CT star point towards line or towards bus bar, towards transformer, whatever the protected unit, it has to be defined accordingly. Okay, if it is a transformer, they will mention towards a transformer, star point towards transformer. All the protection, the star point is always facing towards the protected object. Okay, this is keep as a standard. Okay, here VT connection, here they are mentioning face to face. Sorry, CT star point is done. VT connection, here it is face to face or face to neutral. U1 to U, it means R face to neutral, yellow face to neutral, blue face to neutral, or you can keep face to face, RY, YB, BR. Okay, normally you have to keep face to neutral. VT connection single phase, you can keep it no or yes, it depends on the requirement. Okay, so this is the first option, you have to keep it. If you want extra setting, display additional settings, it will give you some extra settings. Okay, so this is the basic power system setting you have to put before starting any relay testing. Second is CT. CT you have to mention, you have to put primary and secondary currents. Okay, here our relay is 2000 ampere. This is only for setting, we put it. Okay, so we have to mention the CT primary current, CT secondary current, and earth fault. If you have any CT for separately for earth fault, you have to mention that one, CT. Then VT, you have to mention the primary voltage and secondary voltage. Okay, somewhere you will find 110 volt as secondary, somewhere it is 120 volt, somewhere it is 100 volt, depends on the site conditions, you have to put it. Okay, so breaker, normally we are not putting anything on this one. So this is the basic setting you have to put. Once you change the settings, example here I am selecting some settings, example CT, I want to put 1000 ampere, so I will let me put 1000, 5 ampere. If you don't have any earth fault CT, just keep as it is. Otherwise, if you have any earth fault CT, example 50 by 5, then you can keep it as it is. Then CT. VT, example, now we are working on 13.8 kV, so we can put 13.8 kV. Secondary voltage, you can keep 100 volt. Suppose it is 110 volt, then it's 110 volt, keep it. Okay, power system settings, we put it CT done, VT done. So just select OK. Then here this is the button. If you want to send it to device, direct to device, right click. Okay, parameter, this is the setting to send it to relay. Okay, so if you select this yellow button, it automatically it will ask for a password. As I said you, the default password is 1234566 zeros you have to put. Then it will send the data to the device. See here, whatever the changes I made, it is sending to the relay. As if you see the flow line, it is showing the settings is going from the computer to the relay. So first thing is device configuration, second thing is power system data. These are the main two things we have to put in the beginning of the relay test. Okay, then now before testing the relays, if you want to test the hardwares of the relay, example binary inputs, binary outputs, LED, everything is okay or not, before doing the actual test you can do hardware test. Just by software you can check it. Okay, how we can test this one, let me explain you. Click the test here, you will find a hardware test. Click double click on the hardware test. As you know, all the relays it's working by binary input, binary output and LED indication to know what kind of function is operated. Okay, these are the options we should know. It's opening. Okay, now this is Siemens relay, how it works. Okay, example, now it's BI1, it means binary input 1. It is now it's off. So if you want to test it, binary input 1, make it just select high. It will tell you are going to do the test operation. Okay, yes, password 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so you will see the NO will be close to NC. Here you will see the NO will be going to NC. So each binary input output has its own terminal backside. Okay, if you see the relay terminal block or relay diagram, wiring diagram, every relay has its own typical number for this Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, something like this. Okay, so now this is low, it is showing low, means make it low. So you see here everything is high, it means already it's low, you want to make it high. Now the first input I made it already high, so it is showing make it low, so I make it low again. The contact will open. When you press this one hardware test, backside of the relay you can keep the multimeter and you can see the transition, and you open to close, close to open, you can see the buzzer, or you can keep in buzzer mode and check one by one. So like this relay have 10 binary inputs. Okay, so example binary 11. Okay, I just click it, the relay input will close, then you can identify this is working good or not. Okay, it's okay, it's closed, so I want to open it. This is only hardware test. Here there is an option automatic update 20 seconds. If you press OK 20 seconds, every 20 seconds the status will go to the normal condition. Example, you make it low or high, the high will go to low. Okay, this will do automatic by itself 20 seconds. Okay, example binary output 1. You see here binary output 1, it is open now. Okay, now you want to test this one, just press on. I heard some sound from the relay, so it is already on. How you want to check? Just keep the multimeter at the back side of the relay, corresponding terminals. Example binary output 1, it means it may be P1, P2 or P3, P4 or E1, E2, whatever the terminal mentioned in the drawing. Just keep the multimeter in buzzer, you will find it. Like this you can do it for all the relays. Okay, for all the binary outputs. Same like that you can do it for LED also. This relay, from this list, it is having 11 binary input, 7 binary output and 7 LEDs. Example, I want to check LED 7 is working or not, just press LED 7 on. You will see the red LED here now. Okay, so it means the relay's LED is glowing, same time you can see the relay front side, the relay will glow, the relay LED will glow. So this is what you have to test, hardware test, before doing any relay test, because no need to waste timing. If suppose you don't know, maybe output 4 is not working and you don't know, and you are testing all relays, at the end of the day you maybe understand that the output is not working, then it is a waste of time. You have to replace the card and you have to test the relay completely. This case you can do the hardware test to confirm all the input output LEDs are working, then you can proceed with the testing. Each relay has its own test method. Here in Siemens it's under test mode. In ABB this will be different, that is also under test mode. In Areva relay this will be under commissioning mode, commissioning. So there will be each relay having its own procedure, you have to follow that one. Before doing the actual test you do the hardware test. This is a simple clue before starting any relay test. Okay.